Hey guys, if you can see me right now, I'm kind of like apologizing because I'm having some unusual difficulty today, which shouldn't be the case. So working out to anime unlock. Seriously, I was going through some issues trying to run it on my main PC, but some apparent reason it doesn't make any sense. And I think I know why the problem is. I have a problem with my power supply, which is adding more to my headache for more than a year and a half. And I've been trying to get the right power supply to replace it. So this is why I'm running from my main PC, not from my laptop. And I'm waiting for my co-host. I know today we have a good topic to talk about, which is regarding to Gungrave. Now, this is something that I would like to talk about more, but I would like to wait for everybody to come in. Forgive me for the not sure the intro. The intro got particularly removed by accident. Um, it's it kind of bugging me out. When it comes to working with PC, I try to fix issues. But when parts are not available, that becomes a problem to me. To me, the part are becoming very, very expensive. Not easy to replace certain part like a power supply for me. PC, especially it's applying power straight to the motherboard, which is for to make it to look perfectly fine. When you have a 40 power supply, it can throw your whole entire computer into whack, which is something I hope you guys know good when I go through, which is kind of silly. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody week going so far? This is midweek. We have a good topic. I'm there waiting for the rest of my partner to come in. I hope he's not running too late, so to speak. But if I can try to run this intro all over again to start off the show, I, I hope I can without this PT make me want to throw it through the window, which I don't want to because that's a lot of money being invested in this PT, which is crazy. What I would try to do is do the best I can on this end. Get my partner show up. Cause right now it's really driving me nuts. I can't believe it's one part that could mess with the whole functionality of the PT. Just one part alone. And everything else is acting like it was normal until close to start time. All of a sudden everything looks like it's in slow motion or it's getting glitchy. I hope I have nothing to do with the Windows 11 update. Oh, that's not the case either. It shouldn't be the case. The spec on this PC is much higher than the spec on my laptop, but still, it's ridiculous. But anyway, we're waiting for everybody to show up in the conversation so far. Wait a little longer. Let me see if I can try to get something started here. Give me a second. Oh, boy. Mhm. Let's see. One from Miracle. No, Microsoft not sabotage people PC. But the case, okay, my part is here. Great. Give me a second. If I can get them up. Well, my PT disappointed me, so to speak. Don't worry while I give me a moment. It's becoming more frustrating to me than ever. Believe me. I don't like how things going. Give me a second. What is really going on here today? Take over? Oh, good. This is really so irritated right now. Let me put your key at the side where my laptop is doing me better than this. I want to punch it so bad. So, can you switch me over, engineer? Yeah, that's better. I hope you guys can hear me, right? I was here for this, not realizing my failing or ailing PC, which you can see behind me. I'm trying to figure out why I'm going through what I'm going through. Uh, Welcome again. This is Wednesday, midday of the week. Hope everybody doing okay. I had a very interesting day so far. My partner, who I'm waiting for, Wally, I hope he's around here somewhere. Maybe not having a work day that I am having, technically. But I would say the day should be getting better because this topic. Hey, Wally, how you doing?
What's going on, Canadian boy?
I'm good. I'm just looking forward for this topic because one, I watched the anime. I'm very curious why there's not multiple seasons for this anime. I felt like they downplayed it, even though it's based on a video game. So I do have my gripe, but other than that, how your week so far?
Hey, same as any other day.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So before we go along with this topic, what you have you watched Gungrave before,
I
or have
remember
you
it in
put?
passing, and I took a little watch because again I was sort of busy with some stuff here and there throughout the week. But so the way how I describe Gungrave to anybody right now is if you were to ever watch Gungrave, the main character sort of gives you a upgraded version of cyber technology, but in a more westernized feel. Keyword: the main character. That's how he sort of gives it off to me. Like he's like sort of like the Western get up, but gives you more of a more higher upgrade tech field. Like when you see his presence.
I give you that. When I look at the anime, the first thing came to my mind was okay. The character had a very I'm looking for the exact word. His present give off as is eerie but screwed up. And the way they played out the storyline, I was thinking the character have a good origin story. That's number one. Number two, should the character had a particular group who was a part of. And the way I looked at it, you and I would know this very well. There are too many anime that the origin story is almost similar to how Gungrave is, very uniquely. And the part about the protagonist coming back, there's too many of that already. There's the one I'm watching called You Believe Bait, what do I want to call it? How the main protagonist will probably be
Mm-hmm.
dead over 20 years ago, but end up coming back as an elf, will take out the seven so-called heroes. And I've seen other animes similar to that type of storyline. So I was wondering, they were the first of its kind that had that type of storyline, right? Then when you look at the plot
Right.
and look at the anime, it had 26 episodes, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh, we
thinking
got
to
the presentation
myself,
right there. What's going on, Hassan? Thank you for coming through.
hey, Hassan, how you doing? How you doing? You know, I'm not going to the particular yet, but you need to have it up. In my mind, I was thinking this. This anime have a unique fan base itself. There's another anime that I wish that could have been done better. That's the one I said they dropped the ball on. I get it. It was based on a video game. But you and I both know that if you build a storyline for a particular video game, it had to be intriguing to get a lot of buyers, right?
Well, and that's another thing,
Right or wrong?
right? If Gungrave, see, that's another thing that was very peculiar to me when I did when you gave me the notes, and then I was looking, reading, and I was looking some stuff on the side, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, if Gungrave started on like if the anime started from a game, that means they never truly invested in the
Mm-hmm.
actual manga of it, meaning there is no real story to this. It's just whatever you want it to craft it to be. So without no real back history and no real dialogue, how can you as a fan base really get involved?
Mm-hmm.
So I think
I'm
that
glad you put
right
that
there is
one
a
out there
big key
because,
right there.
and that's it. I looked at it. I looked at that same way too. The same way you looked at. I looked at that. Okay, they didn't have no manga. You're currently correct. I give you that right off the back. There was no manga created for this anime. But just like most video games, it is not a storyline for a particular video game. What's the chance of that game selling?
You say how much did it sell?
No, let's be real. I'm a video game developer. I'm trying to build a game,
Uh huh.
and I want my game to sell really bad.
Okay.
If my video game don't have a unique storyline that will draw a lot of players to play the game, would
Mm-hmm.
the sale go high or will go low?
It'll be low.
Make sense to you?
Yeah, it'll go low.
Give you a perfect example. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid. One of the hottest game that came out, the best game came out. It have a very unique storyline, right? They didn't
Mm-hmm.
have no manga for the game, but the storyline of the game was so intriguing. You have Metal Gear Solid 1, you got Metal Gear Solid 2, you got Metal Gear Solid 3, you got Metal Gear Solid 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which extend the storyline, but it give a storytelling compelling look into it, right?
Right.
Gungrave started out the game. Yes, we know a lot of great anime started with manga. Let's let's deal with that argument right off the back.
Right.
This is why I said it's a very interesting show. I want people to understand where we come in because I said every anime not gonna be safe with us. We have to be tell the truth. You gotta be honest about it. But this particular anime, it got me thinking about it. And the studio that produced this anime, how many other anime that came out from this particular studio that you know about?
Not much. Usually, anytime I hear an anime, they usually have some back work of manga wrapped around it. It usually does. This was
And you
different.
and you're right. The studio is called Madhouse. Madhouse had a lot of hand on a lot of good anime that came out. Okay, as we do this show every Wednesday, we start going into very, very detail while we look at certain things. If you can put his wallet presentation up, we'll have to go through it to look for stuff because this is why I said I got a stripe or two to do with
Yeah,
this
you
thing.
might
I
have
got
to
a
click it
lot of issue
yourself
with it
if you can. But I have it already in the back. But
because
just check that.
and engineer you can upload it. That'll be great because this anime when I first watched it, I was glued to this. I like how the storyline was going, and I was thinking this storyline could have been extended a little bit further. I keep saying I hate, and you and I both know that we've seen some lot of great anime, but as you watching it along the way, you feel like, okay, are they rushing it? Are they cutting to? I'll give you a perfect example. You and I both would have read the manga, Solo Leveling.
Mhm.
I read the manga. Do you read the manga Solo Leveling?
I have not, but I have heard of it in passing. And
I want before we talk about that particular topic, it might be month down the line. Read the manga of Solo Leveling, then you watch the anime. Then you start to notice that you're like, whoa, 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 something's missing here. There's a scene here that's missing. There's a scene here that's missing.
Why they skip this? Why they skip that? And I'm being heavy critical. Yes, this anime, Gungrave, did not have no manga. It was a game. And somehow you give credit to credit due. Some game does well without a manga because they have a very unique storyline. Right or wrong.
If they play their cards right, yeah.
Because if you want to venture to, let me see, what would the percentage of anime based on manga compared to based on video game? What would be the percentage on both sides? How will you call it?
But say that one more time.
If you were to do a tally, what would be the percentage of all the anime that we have known and come across that compared to based from manga compared to based on a video game? What would be the percentage?
I think honestly, 99% manga and 1% gaming. As far as
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
I mean, I couldn't even give you 1%. Honestly, I really couldn't give you 1%. That would have to be like what 99.9.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't like. This is actually the first one. Gungrave is really the first one I've known to ever really do gaming than anime.
Oh, no,
I've
that's not the
never heard
first
too
one.
much.
Let's go back to
Well,
our
like
last.
no, again, to my recollection, I don't know too much of those.
Now, let's go back to our past argument Pokemon versus Digimon. They were both based on the game. There was no manga for neither of the two.
Okay, well then, what Digimon is the more successor of it all. That's the difference.
Now you see my point, though.
Yeah.
You see, no, lady, that I'm not trying to beat up Wally because this is something that I knew doing these type of shows on anime. We will find a lot of things that we overlooked or we did not want to pay attention, or what the term is, willful ignorant. We ignored the fact that they're not in plain sight. Because where I looked at it, it's almost like 80% will be coming from manga, 20% is coming from video games. That's how I see it. But yet, manga have a huge majority. But I don't want to call it 99 because that'll be way too extreme, though. It's like saying video
Yeah,
game have no, it would say video game had no say or no way of winning. But yet, we did a debate comparing Digimon to Pokemon, and both of those franchise were based off a video game slash toy right off the back. But both were successful in their own right. Is that not correct? And that's the
I,
thing that I
yeah,
looked at it. So
yeah.
when I look at that part, and
Okay.
then we come to this topic, I thought to realize we need to have a third party who will be like our fact checker for us, like someone who understands anime as much as we do, who can start pulling out the record because as we go through each episode concerning which anime we go through, we start to realize there become a unique pattern they start to notice. Because let's give what credit due. Japan is great when it comes to manga. They're also good when it comes to building the best video games out there with unique storylines. We have to give credit where credit due. Either we like it or we don't. I'm not going to argue about that because some of the best games are built on Japanese engineers, Japanese developers, Japanese programmers because they have a unique look on things. Final Fantasy, another one game. Would there ever a manga for Final Fantasy before it came out in the game? I doubt that.
All right. You know what? So here's some examples also because you throwed up. Well, of course, Pokemon's one. You throw up Final Fantasy. So there's also Cyberpunk. There's Ace Attorney, and then there's Persona. And I actually know about Persona a little bit. So yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, every time we get a topic on a particular anime, you start to notice the pattern. Yet, a majority of these anime coming from manga, while some come from successful games that they publish. You and I both know the early year of Final Fantasies during the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 days. How many people did not bust their ass trying to beat that game?
Right.
So let's be honest. We we are we are just having a little fun right now before we go into the topic. We're waiting for the engineer to put up the PDF and what
Yeah,
they have
but
to give
we're pretty
us.
much talking a little bit of what's already in the presentation. So just give it
So
time.
so we give
Go
him
ahead.
time, but the thing is, what we point out it's a total obvious because I don't like people to look at anime like it's poor produced. No, it's not poorly produced. There's a lot of great anime. Sometimes you look at who is the director of the anime, the studio of the anime, and the writer. The writer do play a part, the studio do play a part, as well as the director. Because all our past episode when we talked about anime, we were dissecting everything. And Eric, I know he's throwing around here. Eric will be throwing off one hint of the who the creator was, who the writer was, how much success he had, and we had to give it credit due because this anime right here, I had a bone because the way it was looking, I said there put to be multiple seasons on this thing. It can be cut short. It just can't. There's a lot of anime I'm sure Waterman's are seeing, and you only have one season. Well, I was like, one season? This shit is hot. Not a perfect example. God of High School. How many years are we gonna wait until you see season two? And they got a manga, and this manga have a huge fan base. And Crunchyroll will collaborate to get the production done. So how long are you gonna wait for season two? You can't say you don't got a lot of material. You do. Black Clover. You only did like 4 seasons, right? Because for somehow the anime was catching up with the manga. You got to
Hmm.
think of. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is something you did not know. Black Clover, one of the most up and coming anime that had a huge, massive fan base. That people were comparing this anime with Fairy Tale, which I am sure not what people were comparing, which was better, which is not better. Because there is a mixture of 3 or 4 anime that everybody looked like there was a comparison to all three. It was Black Clover versus Fairy Tale versus Fire Force. There was some weird similarity of those 3 animes. And why they feel like there's something similar, and which is not similar, but the protagonists have a unique au- aura around it in a very unique way. But the fact that one, the anime had to take a break because one, they were doing too great. They were putting out their episode. The episode was catching up with the manga. In most cases, the anime never catch up with the manga. The manga is always far ahead of it and have more than enough material to create multiple seasons. It's just that Black Clover was so hot as it is. And let's be real, dude, in the world of magic, you have no magic. It's not similar to another anime that world no magic, but his so-called magic is muscle with the most hottest, most catchiest theme song. You know what I'm talking about? Matchy. Bing, bam, bam, bing, bam, bam, bing. You didn't watch the anime? That theme song
Oh
was so,
Lord.
that theme song was so catchy. It was annoying in a way, but was catchy. Everybody was doing their own skit of their own version of it in a classroom, in a cafeteria, in a hallway. I was like, really? Is that serious? But mostly on the Korean and Japanese side, they were going everywhere with it, doing their own version. They have a dude here out in the U.S. I think he was in the U.S. on TikTok. He did the English version of the rap, and he went highly successful on that. and that's the drift about it. So believe me when I say that it is a big deal. Let me see.
All right.
I kind of like see like my feet start to act nice. So to be at the bottom right now, you can control it from your end, right, Wally?
No, that song. Well, I can control like as far as moving the slides, but
Okay, the slide, yeah. So let me read the
all right.
overview,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Overview.
Yeah.
Gungrave is a Japanese franchise person shooter game and expanded into an anime series, then manga, their sequel. Yeah, sequel on the game side, but not on the anime side. It is known for its deep, dramatic storytelling, intense gunplay, stylish character design, created by Yasuhiro Nightow. Ooh, that's some serious last name. I don't know how he got that name. The same mind behind Trigun. Look at that.
Trigun.
Trigun. Look at that. Another iconic anime. It combines stylish action and emotional storytelling. So imagine that this guy is the mastermind behind Trigun. That anime was iconic. Was so iconic they did a reboot of it to make it more modernized. Mind you. Crazy, isn't it, huh? Okay, let's go to the next slide. If we could. Because I found it very interesting. That's what's going on. Gungrave 2002, the video game platform with PlayStation 2. I remember it first came out there. Developer was well named publisher Sega. Third person shooting. The plot summary. The game follow Brandon He, that's the main character name, who had been resurrected as an undead gunslinger beyond the grave. That was his full nickname, Beyond the Grave. Short grave. He with a dual handgun Cerebus and a massive coffin shaped weapon. He seeks revenge against a crime syndicate called the Millennion, which betrayed and murdered him in his past life. Now, the thing about it, I felt like this could have made it be a 2 or 3 season. Would have put it out in details, whereby could have went more in detail on how he became part of this crime syndicate, how he was connected to the certain key characters, who he was taken out one by one later when after he got resurrected. Why they want him taken out, what are really behind it before it's like going to his path where he is. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be a side story for each of the character, but who knows? Gunplay, fast paced, over the top third person shooting, unlimited ammo, dallas combat, destructive environment, featuring demolition shot, and powerful spectral effect. Then the third with the board fight and character breakdown. Can you read that one tonight? Can I read it? You might mute it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the character breakdowns. Beyond the grave, Brandon Heat, the main character, resurrected as an undead anti-hero. Doctor to
To
Tukauka,
to
Tukauka.
to Kyoka. To Kyoka. I don't
Yeah,
hey.
Tuka.
Then
Yeah,
then
yeah.
what you
No,
need
it's a
Jake
little tough. A
Katachi on
little
this
tough.
one.
Yeah, the scientist who resurrected Brandon. Oh my
Mika
goodness.
Asagi, that's her name.
Micah Asaki. Yeah, the daughter of the Big Daddy seeking protection from the grave. And then Harry McDowell,
McDowell.
Brandon's former best friend and the main antagonist.
Now the game was a popular game back then. But the way they did the anime, it felt like there was more to it than what it is. Now, when you see the anime, the guy was a very tall ass figure, and I was like, okay, is it me or they copying Fit on the North Star? If anybody recognize Fit on the North Star anime, a lot of these characters in Fit on the North Star they was like giants, which did not make no sense. Am I wrong, Wally?
Wait, say that one more
If
time. You
you, I
said
say
how is
the
that?
character here, Gungrave, was like a giant. You were literally tall. It almost mimicked
Mm,
the anime, it was an iconic anime of ages, Fist of the North Star.
mm,
When you look at Fist of the North Star, almost every character, main character, or any iconic character had to be tall for some kind of reason. Like they were born giant. Like there's no average person. Everybody had to be bulky and tall. Like what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
I was thinking I said, hold on. Not every Japanese person or any Japanese cat had to be huge and tall. You make me feel like I'm watching a reboot of Fist of the North Star. Because from Fist of the North Star character to all the villain and side character, everybody was tall, 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 unless you were super giant, tall, and big, beast, so to speak. But if you're not
Mm.
a unique character, you just small, regular height. Like, what's up with that? What's in the food that make these particular people tall and big? But beyond the grave, Brandon Heat, dude was massive. He was an undead. It's hard to say he's an undead, but he still got his memory. I'm just saying. You know how sign like to say, if you really dead, your soul not be reenact. But the fact that he had his memory, that means his soul was not really dead dead. He was preserved in some kind of way. Am I wrong, Wally?
That's a good point.
I'm just saying. Let's go to the next slide.
All right, hold up.
Because you know that this game was told probably throughout the PS2 era, the PS2 time. It was just like that. So imagine the game came out in 2002, but the anime came out in 2003. 26 episode, like I said, Studio Madhouse, director Toshiyuki Sosiro, writer Yosuke Kuroda. And here's the thing, plot summary: unlike the game, which is more action focused, the anime expand on the tragic past of Brandon Heath and his best friend Harry McDowell. The story followed the rise in the powerful Millennium syndicate, their eventual betrayal, and Brandon's resurrection at Beyond the Grave. The anime is divided into two major parts. So that means it was two seasons. First one part was the past timeline, followed Brandon and Harry rise in Millennium. Second and present timeline, resurrected of Grey hunt down the Millennium seeking revenge. The theme was brotherhood and betrayal, power, loyalty, and ambition, revenge and redemption. Right? You see the characters. We have Brandon
Mm.
Heat, aka Beyond the Grave, a lawyer enforcer betrayed by his best friend. Harry McDowell, a ruthless, ambitious man who climbed to the top of Millennium. Big Daddy. No offense. Yeah, anyone you have to call Big Daddy is suspect. Least- Why you call him Big Daddy? I don't know. Sound like a diddler joke. Leader of the Millennium, a father figure to Brandon. Okay. Mika Asagi, daughter of Big Daddy, caught in the chaos. Bunji Kugashiwa. Really? Really? You see this guy right here? Wally, you see what he did right now? Okay. Buji Kugashiwa. Let's come in over for the. Oh God. I cannot, you know what? Scratch that. If anybody point a cup talking about you can call me a big guy anything, you got something to shoot. Pause. Oh Lord. We're not doing this right now. We are not doing this.
Apparently we are. Apparently we are.
Here's another day of the madness on the Wednesday show. I ain't calling no one Big Daddy. Nobody. you
What is this? You tell that to your little. No, I'm not gonna go there.
see
I'm
what I'm
not gonna go
saying?
there.
You see what I'm saying?
Not gonna go
Now
there.
you, now you
Not gonna
get
go
it.
there.
Nah, you
I'm
get it.
not gonna go there. I just had to seen that damn comment. And then, no,
Uh,
no, no. But let's get on with the shindig already.
we
Okay,
tried to
okay,
avoid
yeah,
that
yeah.
comedy sideline, but we had to blame our engineer because he threw that out of nowhere. Whew. We're walking a 3 and 4, so I can't see the rest of it. But
Yeah, bear walking. Okay, yeah, hold on. Bear walking. A senior enforcer in Millennion with a sense of humor. Rep, rep, reception. The anime was praised for its character depth, emotional storytelling, and excellent pacing. However, some criticized the slow first half compared to the action-heavy second
and
half.
I would slightly agree and disagree. The, here's the thing: the second part of it was all about the impact, the gunslinging, the move, the flexing of his gun, the back and forth. But the first one, you got to understand what will lead this man to not even want to rest. He was claimed to be a weapon, right? But
Ergo, beyond the grave.
when they read away, he was beyond the grave because his soul did not rest. The man remember who did him dirty. So it's almost like saying, "Oh, you're not taking me out that easy. You think I'm dead? My soul is still waiting for a chance to get up." But if you watch the anime, this man was like no pushover. This man was packing heat, and the gun that he was carrying. No offense, if they were to do a celebrity death match, it would be Gungrave versus Devil May Cry character Dante. Because you know that I'm not trying to say they're copying, but it feels that way. You guys may not think I'm making this one up. I want you to take the time out. Look at Gungrave for what it is, right? Then look at Devil May Cry. It was based on a game, but have a very unique storyline. But the character himself, Dante, is almost similar to Gungrave. The only difference is
You know what?
Dante is the son of a demon lord. He's half demon, half human. Gungrave is a man who got taken out based on betrayal, but his soul did not want to rest. Yeah, you're right. DMT won the best video game out there. But the gameplay of DMT is almost slightly similar to like Gungrave, but Gungrave was more all guns. It wasn't too heavy ass guns. They had a coffin like gun. It looked like you can flip it to anything you want to call it. And no offense, his last major gun, it looked like a copycat from Trigon. One on Trigon rival who have like a same type of coffin like gun. I'm not forgetting with that. If you ever do your homework, you watch Trigon, you watch Gungrave, and you watch Devil May Cry, you will see they have a cross similarity on both sides. Because the one character in Trigon, beside the guy himself, I got his name. He had two guns. He had a nickname for it. The other guy who rivaled him had like a coffin like gun, which is similar to that of Gungrave. That was the difference. And I been asking like why all of a sudden that thing similar close gun is showing up in Gungrave. What's the similarity between both of them? What's the relation to the two characters? But
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned the Gungrave. Well, Trigun. But I think they used a similar essence of gun. Like they used a similar type
hmm
of gun. The only difference is, of course, well, Gungrave is actually more different and more higher up tech the way it's
hmm
designed. But it's pretty much they pretty much use the same style a little bit
very much.
while being different characters. Because Gungrave was definitely more of a darker, more
Mm.
silent, killer character, whereas Trigun was way more of a more
Yeah,
comedic feel,
comic relief.
like with a more catchphrase.
And the thing, when you
Yeah,
look at Gungrave and Devil May Cry, the fight scene, in a way, is almost as if you're trying to mimic Gungrave, but you add more extra arsenal because Dante was not only using gun, using gauntlet, he using all different kind of sword and weaponry. You were kicking, you were punching, you were rocking a guitar, so it's got to be turned into a weapon. It's a long list of weaponry that Dante was using. Gungrave
right.
have two set of guns. He had his Ivory and Ebony. I think that's the name of it. Two gun. Maybe I'm wrong. They look so similar. It's like
Mm.
this is why. Yeah, the character in Trigon Vast Stampede. I remember now. Vast Stampede. That was the nickname they gave Vast Stampede. He had two guns too as well. This guy character had two guns. Dante had two guns. And I'm trying to figure out why all these three characters have similarity in that way. You know what I'm saying? I pay close attention to detail.
Yeah.
I always ask myself, does bug me about these three characters? Dante got nickname for his two guns. Vasta Stampede from Try got a name for his two guns. And Gungrave, which is no different. Gungrave Overdose 2004,
Yeah.
PlayStation 2. Three playable character beyond the Gungrave, Juji Kabane, and Rockbilly Red Cadillac. More fluid gameplay, improved mechanic, expand story with a new antagonist. Okay, you expand the storyline. How come we have another anime to follow after that?
Well, we'll get into that part because I think there is definitely a lot of reasons. Well, a decent few of why it didn't really went
Please
over.
elaborate.
But yeah, let's just read this part up and we'll explain why it didn't went over.
Okay, new organizations, seed emerged. Okay, remember that I said there could be another season? You got seed. Emerge to threaten
Yeah.
the world. Grave, a long-time new ally, must stop the new menace. Reception. Improved gunplay mechanic over the first game. Some critics felt the story was not as strong as the first. Writer issue. Gungrave VR,
Right.
2018.
Yeah. Don't worry about that one. That's on another one. I forgot. I guess I didn't
No, no
strip
problem,
that
no
off.
problem.
But
But
yeah,
you
that's
get
for the
my
next
point
one.
what I'm talking about. When I feel like they could have gone further with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely good.
Go look at it. 2002 was the first video game. 2003 with the anime. 2004 with the video game again. Then from 2004 jump all the way to 2018. How many year gap is that, please? Can you elaborate to me? That
14.
long? Really? That long? You could have had something for the PS3 before the PS4 came into existence. You want to tell me you want to tell me
Hey,
your writer block got stale on storylines? Like seriously? Okay, there's a VR game developed by EG Mob, published by Marvelous USA, VR shooter. First person and third person VR shooting experience. Short campaign focused on intensive action sequence. That sounds like no different from Call of Duty. Mixed review, pray for nostalgia, but criticized for its short. I expect.
short and lack of polish.
See what I'm saying?
Short length and lack of polish. Yeah.
Why? No, no, ladies and gentlemen. Why would you take a franchise that had a unique growing fan base and it was doing good, but you do way more than drop the ball? You fucked it up. Why? Please, if someone explain it to me why. Why it had to be this way. 22. Gungrave Gore. Hey, Don GQ, welcome. Of course, you would never hear you hide in the shadow.
Yo, Don, what it do?
So, Gungrave Gore came out in 2022 for the PS4 and the PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Xbox Net, and PC. Developed by Iggy Mob, publisher Prime Matter, and a different publisher than that. They reported shooting. Set years after Gungrave overdose. Really, Gray continued his war against seed drug trade, facing new and old enemy in a brutal, stylish fashion. Okay. More refined combat with melee and shooting combo, new enemy type, larger, more detailed environment, retain classic gungrave aesthetic with modern gunplay mechanics. Love for the nostalgia and whatever they say behind our head.
Love for nostalgia, style, and fun combat. Criticized for repetitive gun gameplay and outdated mechanics.
Now you wonder why I'm pissed. That's a good question. Why did they ever make an anime of that game? Oh, I know it was bad. No, it wasn't bad. The anime had a good foundation. Let's be real here. Let me be real here. This one of those type of anime that I feel that the people who had the opportunity to make the thing hit out of the ballpark dropped the ball because they were too stupid. You guys,
No, I think well, David, I think what Spartan's trying to say is why did they ever made the anime off that game? Oh, I know because it was bad. What they're trying to sit here and say is the people that made the gaming corporation they try to recoup money back. So what they did, they made the anime, which technically was a nice landing place of saying it was success. The only problem is they couldn't keep it going.
I don't buy that. Yeah, go. You can jump in because I'm really pissed.
But
No,
I'm
I'm
I'm gonna be
pissed
honest with
because
you. Here's you did you read this
no,
part already? You read
Gungrave is
this
a
right? You read
franchise
the
that combines
conclusion?
solid gunplay with deep
Yeah, go
emotional
ahead.
storytelling, which is very, very true. And they were doing well with that. The original anime is regarded as a hidden gem. Why wouldn't it not be regarded? It's a hidden gem. While the game have a cult following due to their over-the-top action and unique aesthetic, the recent release like Gungrave Gore showed the franchise still had a dedicated fan base and potential for future expansion. If you want to do future expansion, go back to the original anime and build up on a proper storyline. Instead of doing all these game bullshit and you keep dropping the ball. I only point out there's a similarity in Gungrave to Trigun. It's the same writer who helped write Trigun, but all has a unique similarity to Dante for Devil May Cry. Because if you're a gamer like me, right, and you like the anime, you got to know that
Hey,
there's
Lady
something
Balboa.
about it. It doesn't add up. That's why I say I have a bone to pick. Like you can't not. Yes, the game came out in 2000. To give you that, you come in the next year, 2003, with a kind of anime that everybody was like, "Oh shit, I like this." Let me
David,
tell you
end
something.
of the day, the anime took a lot of people off the left side surprise. When I came across it, I'm like, huh, this is interesting. I bought the DVD. Oh, this is actually fucking good. I got the second
You
DVD.
bought the
Oh,
DVD?
this is actually really fucking good. I'm sorry?
You bought the DVD for this?
Yeah, I bought the DVD back then. We're talking about early 2000s, bro. It wasn't on stream back then. I didn't wait till it come out on stream. 20 years later, I bought it when it first came out. That's how much a fan I was. But the game was horrible. I don't care which game you're talking about. All of them are bad.
I
Anime's
wouldn't
here.
be surprised.
This is the game.
But see, that's what I'm saying, right? From someone that actually likes it. But here's the thing: you played
Yeah,
and watched
both.
it. So okay, so some from someone that has experience that played it and watched it, this person's telling you right here, right now, game wise didn't enjoy it, but TV wise damn sure did. And this is what I'm saying. Somewhere along the line, it tanked in value It probably cost them a decency, but they converted it to anime. They said, yes, we got something here, but it's like, well, here's my thing. This is why I'm saying it's very weird how you get something, you know that it popped off, but you didn't do nothing really extravagant with it. And from there, what I'm saying is, okay, look, if you know that the story from the TV series was better than what you was producing in the games, then that should have been the understanding lining of get it together. Because at that point, that's where you say, okay, scrap everything you once did beforehand and set that on the curve and be like, we need a whole new
I
reset.
agree.
Which technically you got that point done, right? Because you got the writer of Trigun to come in there and fix that problem. Here's the issue. Because you're always penalized in what? You're trying to not be similar. Again, Trigun and Gungrave are definitely two different things. Gungrave was definitely dark and brittle, but the thing was, this was the more interesting factor. And like I said, I haven't watched the whole series yet to really give you a full dialogue. But for me, if when I get a chance to watch it all, my thing is this. Oh no, I plan to because like I said, Gungrave was very familiar when I heard the name. Because the one thing that I wanted to question was, do we get to understand the dialogue of who Brandon was before he was dead and put away, then only to be revived back, then reestablished? You know, did you put him in a pod? How did you reattach his flesh? Is he really wholly flesh, or did he just got some gloves covering, body parts? Like how deep is the science?
So I can actually
really,
answer that question for you.
Great.
The first two episodes are present. Then they take a back lapse to explain how Brandon and Harry became these big mafia guys. How his best friend betrayed. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but
Oh no,
it will go through the whole storyline. Then it gets back to current time, and you see the big fucking war that it happens with Brandon.
Well, I'm
Yes.
glad you cleared that. So from that perspective, no one can't technically say it's slow because now, again, you're getting storytelling. You can't say you're getting storytelling, but then the thing is actually slow because it's slow to get into the action. You're breaking down the whole thing of who this character is, how he got here today, and everything else. So if you're truly true in standing of what the anime is, you have to enjoy it for where it
Well,
stands.
they
So that's
they
one part.
the character
The
diversity
next,
of the anime was got to be the character because the way Brandon came off. The first thing you watch the anime, like he said, it caught you off guard. Like there
The
was no
first two episodes, I would say, like, I don't know about this. But once it gets into the story after episode 3, 4, and so on, you go, oh, fuck me.
and
no, I was intrigued because at the end of the day, when you saw those foot soldiers, neither they were clay or some type of form of
Oh, the normal
metal,
man.
whatever
Normal man.
alloy. Yeah, whenever you saw those, you just like, okay, who made these and why they're coming after these dudes?
And it has a very deep story. That's one thing I did enjoy about the anime. But the video game, it had nothing. It was like North versus West. I'm like, made no fucking sense. Even the last game,
Well, yeah,
I actually paid with my own money, played the last game, and I wanted to put a fucking a 2x4 through my dick. That's how bad it was. David, you can call me Big Daddy when you're ready.
pause.
But
Pause.
joking aside. Let's get serious for a second here. The game, every single game has released for Gungrave has been worse to worser to worser to like, what the fuck? I'm paying for this shit anymore.
And that's what pissed me. No, did the anime was a hit? It could have got even better because the character stood out by itself. Because something everyone who watched the anime had a lot of questions about the character, like how do you attain your soul and your memory? Like how you like you didn't let this shit go? It's like yeah, you want to be an undead, but this is past being undead.
right? Because even when you think about it further, Like, does he like eventually just sleeps and then constantly just raise out of anger with past visions just popping up in his head out of his dome? Like, just the psyche of it
It's
all.
fucked up
Like,
if you really think about it.
the psyche is just
Thank
crazy.
you.
Well, that's the whole point, but
Yeah.
it should be because the psyche is literally
And
insane.
that's what made the anime very interesting because you see some of the scene, it was on a huge ass massive throne like chair. And they put to be an undead. When do you ever have an undead have a dream? No, you see what I'm saying? The anime itself got you messed up. You were like, nah. There gotta be some depth to this character because there's something about this character. It got you thinking there's something more to this character. 'Cause the guy's supposed to be dead. He's an undead, right? But an undead have dreams.
Mm.
Don't you remember thing? They all of a sudden it started to like the other time the guy almost ripped the hand off his chair. It was acting like what? Why he reacting different? Like his head, his memory started to flash back on something memory. It is you can see the rage on the guy's face. You can see his fist were clenched onto the chair like you want to rip the chair off apart. They were a very uniquely anime that had a fan base. People were like, we want to see more about the character. The character looked like a more than revenge. It was more like they must be like an undead Punisher. Like, nah, we're not letting you slide. You effed up. You did me dirty. It's time for me to come and get your ass. Kind of thing. That's how it felt. But somehow, it's like Gungrave is not the only anime out there that has game and they didn't fuck it up. Dragon Ball has so many video games. Bleach has so many video games. Black Clover had a video game.
And if you think about it,
Digimon, Pokemon, like come on, let's be real. They both had an anime and still have video game. Like how you drop
but you
but
know what's so interesting though? If you think about it, right, from the Dragon Ball side of the video games, some of that was able to expand the whole Dragon Ball Hero side of the whole series.
bingo.
They just had a
Bingo.
bad direction. Whoever was leading this team did not know what the fuck they were doing. Simple as that. At the video game part of it,
And that what pissed
but the anime,
and that what pissed me
But
off.
I think,
like I think he was drinking when he was directing
well, no,
this.
but I think here's the thing though. But I think this is the thing that I laugh at a little bit about because when you actually think about it a little bit, right? Because like what David said earlier, right? We went from it started from a game, then okay, now you make it from an anime. But amongst the anime, well, who you do? You recruit the guy that created Trigun and bring it to this, but he's bringing a more darker feel to this more so than anything else. And instead of saying, okay, you know what? We have something here. Let's convert this to a manga versus going back to a video game. You make a video game. You go back to the video game and you call it what? You call it Gungrave Overdose. And you said, well, okay, now we're facing a whole new villain. We're facing an organization called Seed.
Seed.
Okay, so you're trying to tell me there's no manga that could be made here. There's no real storyline that you could have really made. Because pretty much, let's be real, you already made the TV show that gave a very descriptive telling of how this all started and began, right? Which you can expound on by building an anime through manga and giving it to the fans, and they keep hungry over it. Then at the same time, now that you made Overdose, which is another video game, which you're telling us is pretty much another TV series, which is a whole nother extension of new villains, new people, new challenges, with whole new different variations of you can probably do with just the dude himself. And now there's something missing here. I don't know. Another TV series, a manga, everything else that you can really actually make this a thing, and you
And
can
how
just
many
scrap
year
it because if you
and how many year gap in between the last anime? From 2003 to we're 2025. You want to tell me you didn't have enough time to think this shit through?
But then this is the other problem. I think this is another point where if the person of Trigun was the one that picked this up, and he write the first one decent, and he says, okay, well then that's where they at. Well then where's the other part that's going on here? And this is where I want to come in and talk about this part, because this was interesting. So I did a little bit of research, right? And so this is what it says, right? Gungrave likely didn't get more series due to a combination of factors, including its niche appeal, a relevantly self-contained storyline within the original anime, lacks the widespread popularity at the time of its release, and the franchise primarily focusing on the video game sequels rather than furthering the anime adaptation after the initial series included. Again, I pointed all this just pretty much out here earlier.
So based on that point, I might have to agree with Ghost Spot. I mean, the guy was drunken. He was drunk as hell. He don't know what the
Listen,
fuck
the
he was
game
doing.
makes no sense at all. Any of these games, the story has no sense to it. Is no actual guideline. Yeah, you have the same character. That's the only thing that makes sense from game and anime. You have Beyond the Grave. You have Bungie. You have Brand. Yeah, Brandon. I think it was Brandon in the game. But you have all the major characters in there. That's it. Nothing else. Connect the dots. You have XYZ259. That makes no sense to me. And like a really bad formula algebra that never made sense.
And this is what I'm trying to point out, because we will come across anime who in the same boat with Gungrave that have a unique fan base, and they epically drop the ball on the worst way possible. Like how you fuck this one up? No,
Well, let
literally,
me keep
how
going.
you do
Let,
that? No,
let
because
me
no
keep
offense,
throwing up some more key
just
points.
just like Ghost of Sparta said, I got hooked to the anime. I w- I want to get a. I thought there was a director cut edition. Not no regular DVD. I was thinking there was a director cut, because there got to be more to the storyline, but not realizing the owner of the franchise epically dropped the ball. Literally, you see the numbers on the anime doing way better on the video game, and you want to tell me the game could have done better than the anime? The one you put up,
I think what they were trying to do is,
the one you did in 2004 was not so good. You got to wait until 2018. So how many years it took you taking to raise money to do another game over your fuck up?
think
No,
about this though. But David, think about this, right? I think this is where I think it comes back to this, because I think just changing my initial approach, what I said earlier, right? So in most cases, I think what they was trying to do is they was using the anime to boost up the gaming sales.
yeah, you could have came out with another season. 26 season. If I'm correct, I think they did like 2 seasons. Each season had 12 episodes
One
each. One season?
one season, that
For,
was one
for
season
Gungrave, yeah, it was one
of
season.
all
One
those
season, 20,
episodes.
That's
Yeah,
it.
one
so
season.
one season, 26 episodes. You want to tell me you don't make so much money to do a second season? We got to go on and do a game the next year,
I think they were
and the
planning
game
the game will
flopped.
launch to be so good they would have to do anime. But when the game pretty much flopped, they didn't see the point of dropping money into it. But they would keep dropping more games after game after game. I personally don't understand it
You
either,
see,
David. Is like the guy was on the it was I'm
that's
sorry?
what no, but that's why I said I wanted to go in a little bit more deeper on
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
key points of why this is sort of failing. Because here, so going back to what it said, the niche appeal, right? The dark action heavy style of Gungrave might not have appealed to a broad audience, attracting more dedicated cult following instead. But here's the issue, right? I don't think so. That's the problem, because there's a lot of certain dark feel affiliations out there amongst anime that has enough of good followers out there. Trust me. Even if they started like good and happy and all that fun stuff, there's always some dark ones out there somewhere. I think personally, the reality is there's not a lot of drawbacks or a lot of connectivity to this. Cause like, think about it, ain't no one else here is gonna be like, oh well, you're just gonna come back in the grave and you're just gonna, just be just force of weapon, just blowing and blasting people's heads off. It's just not gonna happen. There has to be more of a sensible feel to it. Now, granted, you did mention, earlier that there is some back history, but how much of that back history keep on going? And this is where I say they could have really extended the anime by constantly keep going back into his past. Because if you think about it, that's how you keep him alive. That's how you keep a little bit of the interesting alive of that main character. You keep Gungrave alive by constantly keep going back in his past and reverting it into his present. Because you keep that sensibility of that familiar face with a familiar backdrop story alive that keeps selling the fucking story, keep it going. And that's why I think that's where it falls off right there. Because again, the only way anime survives if you bring connectivity. Now, in most cases, you would say, well, how does people connect to Digimon? You think about it. There's a lot of ways you can connect to Digimon. There's a lot of ways. It don't take much.
Sound like excuses.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot more. And I think anybody, even if from a sense of you not dying, I believe if you know what it feels like to live, but feel like you're already dead, but then there's something still there at the end of the day where something about you will still be triggered.
In a way, it's kind of creepy if you really think about it.
I'm sorry. To me, as you break it down, Wally, it sounds like a bunch of excuses. They had a hit on the anime side of things. The anime made way more money than both the first and the second game combined. So you want to tell me you didn't see a money indication that the anime doing you better than the game? No. Prato, please.
I mean,
No.
again,
No,
I'm not disregarding that.
Prato. You're a chef. When you're doing the tally of your profit, you see what making more money than the other. You focus on what making more money and work on that end, or you focus on what make less money and focus on that other end.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
As a chef, when you're looking at the profit margin,
Loss and profits.
are you gonna focus on what make more money for your business, or you focus on what make less money for your
What
business?
makes more money? Obviously, like if I have, for example, let's use two products: a cheeseburger and a gyro. All right. If the cheeseburger makes me about $1.50 and versus a gyro makes me about $3.50, of course I'm gonna go with the gyro. You know what I'm saying? But I also have to add which one is more work. Okay, now I have to add that. So in theory, the gyro is still gonna make me more money. Even if it's more work, it still makes more money on the numbers. I have to break that labor down, the product down, and my how much I'm selling it for, and break the numbers down. Does that make sense at all?
So that makes sense.
Right. But and
Go
think
ahead,
about
Wally. Go ahead.
let me come on that, because now I'll flip that back onto the anime. The thing is, I don't think so. They really wanted to make a team where they get a bunch of writers and constantly make this to a real thing where they build it to be an anime, where then they eventually make it to a manga, which then continues the variation of the anime overall as a TV show. I think this was just a stick up just to boost ratings for the freaking game itself.
You got a point.
Because think about it, remember, there was no real writers to this. There was a writer as far as building the game and the environment of the game, but they never got a real writer other than the guy that did Trigon beforehand, which was the one that built the anime. But see, now, build the writer team for the actual manga of the anime, they never
Did they actually make a manga for Gungrave? Because I'm not sure with that one.
I don't think so.
I never heard of it.
I'll check.
I'm trying to find the profit and loss.
But that's what I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure they did.
They're supposed to make one, but they dropped the ball. And that what pissed me. That what angered me the most. I'm like, this is why I say is when you see a lot of anime like that out there that have a unique fan base, and the person who create that fan base, create the anime, drop the ball in the worst way. I'll be thinking, were you on drug? Were you on something? Or you just stuck them as stupid?
All right, so guys, yeah, there is some, but not a whole lot. So there's a Gungrave anime manga. Okay, they said there's a publication of this, and then there's Gungrave Archives.
I wonder if it's any good actually. Now I'm thinking about it.
That's what they say. Yeah, because they say okay. So
Gungrave
look. So for
archives. Okay.
example, Dark House manga. So they said the Gungrave anime manga, the volumes are under Dark Horse manga published.
That kind of
The
makes sense because
publishers
Dark
of
Horse
Dark
does
House.
make stuff pretty creepy stuff with that, and that's their trend. Because they made was a Spawn if you really think about it. But is it Dark Horse Comics manga two different things or the same company?
Uh, that I'll have to look up, but I won't be surprised if they're two different things. But at the same time, I won't be surprised if they're both the same
Yeah,
thing.
because I know Dark Horse is a comic book company.
Yeah, and they do make a lot of dark stuff. Wait a minute. Yeah, they're the same people. The same people. I think they're the same people. Yeah, I think they're the same people. I think they also make comics and they make manga. Yep. Same people. Same organization. Um, yeah, but they so pretty much they have the whole Gungrave cycle under them. Hold on, let me see. But see, that sort of makes it even problematic even more because if they own Gungrave, right? If they own it and plus do the manga, which I see at least about 2 books for it, and then they give you a journal, they give you a lighter, and then they just gave you a bust. Yeah, they give you an actual lighter,
Zippo?
like like a Switch. Yeah, they give you an actual
Zippo lighter. I'm saying.
They give you a Switch. Yeah. So so pretty much you got 2 books, a journal, the Zippo lighter, and then a bust of the character. That's all you get as far as items for the Gungrave. But then that's even more problematic, right? Because if Dark Horse Comics have the anime and they actually make mangas for it, then my thing's again, why have this not ever reached further than where it is today?
You know why they didn't reach further? Because the person who run that franchise were bullshitters. This is why I'm mad. You, I'm sorry. I'm sure Ghost of felt the thing. You know how long we waited for another season for Gungrave anime?
We're
So
still
that's
waiting for it.
what the effort going on?
It's never going to happen. I knew
on.
how it was never going to happen because the way it ended, they killed off. If you remember, I don't want to spoil anything. They killed off the main characters. Once you kill off the main characters, you can't bring it back. It's not Dragon Ball Z. You call Shihan, Shoran, whatever his fucking name is, and hopefully
Shenron.
Peekaboo comes out
Oh,
and
if
it comes back. This is 2 different anime
really,
series.
Pikachu, really, if it's not
Look,
Shira, it's
I
Puranga.
even
If it's
go
not
further.
Shira, if it's not Shira and Puranga, if it's not Puranga, it's a Super Dragon Ball. I get it, but still, the fact that they dropped the ball on the it what pissed me the f. I'm like, dude, why do this?
Look, I
Why?
even go
No,
further
no,
because
seriously, no, seriously. Why screw up on something so good that you're too stupid to think for yourself?
they didn't
Take
really
this
put
path.
nothing to behind it.
Then why wait
They
after
haven't put
14
nothing
years?
behind it
Okay, I get it. Why wait after 14 years to bring out another game? Therefore, it's a
because they're
flop.
idiots.
And
Because
bring it
they're idiots.
again, and bring it again 4 years later.
Because they're idiots.
I wonder if this is a hit over in Japan overseas. No, think about it. Think about
I doubt it. And even if it is, it's decently small. Like you probably have like. Don't get me wrong. I talked to someone earlier. He knows Gungrave his damn self. But the thing is, again, so one season like these, and you're just sitting there asking yourself, when is this going to come out? Death on ears. The only way for you to get this coming out, if you buy it from freaking Dark Horse and say, okay, I'm putting it out. Which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, look, I always say this. Sometimes there's got to be certain people that's willing to take the bullet and say, you know what, I would love to buy this property. Can you sell it to me?
You might want to. That's what the man wanted to do that because the way they're doing on the Gungrave right now, it pisses me. Dude, they're supposed to be a masterpiece, and you fucking up. You literally. if you might have to reboot the whole Gungrave, let them reboot the whole entire Gungrave. Get a group of writers. We
Well,
do
you'll
a
have no choice. Because at that point, you can't, like, let's be honest. You would have to strip. You would pretty much have to do sort of like you did like GT and any other readaptation animes. You would have to reframe it, call it something else entirely, just so you could say, okay, this you see this right here, you see this timeline right here, this is their fuck up, this is us. Just say, just to
or
get
the
a
title will
fresh
be
stat.
this Beyond the Grave, then bracket Gungrave.
Listen, the anime is very solid. I don't think it needs a reboot. The game needs a fucking Jesus himself.
Well, I'm not saying the anime needs a reboot. What I'm saying is everything that came before this is not us. This is like you leave it right here. This right here, this is a whole new
Like I said,
wave.
I think the games need
That's what I'm
Jesus
saying.
himself to come down and help them.
Well,
Jesus.
hey, but look, I want to keep
Jesus.
going on some of these tips because there's a whole lot more to this. There's a whole lot more because I want to keep going. Because the next part was the complete storyline, right? They said the first anime adaptation covered the main plot of the original game, leaving a little room for a direct sequel without venturing into new story territory. The third thing that they also speak on was focus on games. After the anime, the Gungrave franchise primarily focused on developing new video game sequels like Gungrave Overdose, which might have diverted attentions away from the further anime production, which is why y'all morons effed up and allowed this shit to happen because you think, oh, we finally got people. We got their attention. And you think they were going to go back and go fucking play a video game? Like, no, you idiot. You don't do that shit. Especially when a video game like that don't have nothing continuously to keep playing of. This is not like Call of Duty where you just keep on shooting, go face people and go beat them up and go knock them
But
off.
yet, Devil May Cry didn't feel like Gungrave. Devil May Cry had not only unique storylines, but it had way more gameplay in it compared to Gungrave, which was more entertaining.
I mean, again, but that also goes back to storytelling and everything else of that nature.
Gungrave had no storytelling in the game. It was just okay. We gonna shoot. Da, 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 da. Like, if I need that, I'll play Call of Duty.
That's what I'm saying. And then last but not least, they say market conditions. When the first Gungrave anime aired, the anime landscape might not have been as receptive to the style of story, potentially impacting its popularity. And I don't believe that. I
Bullshit.
believe that personally, you just didn't put enough investment to really get it over the top. Let's be honest. I can see anybody cosplay Gungrave right now and be like, yep, I'm that
Oh, I
dude.
seen it.
Mhm.
I seen it Comic Cons.
Plenty
But that's
of
my
time.
whole point. If you can get it in Comic Cons, I think you can.
No, you see my point
Yes.
now? Now you tell us I got a bone to pick quick?
Fuck, I know.
No, this is why I say on this show, no anime is safe from criticism. But this one right here deserves severe level of like you fuck up so goddamn much on multiple level, and you like fail to like how you even do that? No, seriously. And I'm sure a lot of animators learned the mistake that this person made and said, we're not going to do what this person do. We will avoid this mistake. And I'm sure about that.
Yeah, but I got more to go with. I got more notes because I really want to pin this to the head because
Hey,
this is
hey,
insanity,
go ahead. Because
right? And this goes to the inconsistency of the whole thing, right? So it says, so here's another piece of notes that I picked up. While the original Gungrave game and anime were well received, which I don't know who the fuck said the game was well received so far, because we got one person that said hell no. Later entries have had more mixed reviews. For example, Gungrave Gore received mixed reviews. This inconsistency can make it difficult to maintain momentum and generate sustained interest,
call my
which a lot of
ass.
people would
Let,
just
let me touch base on
whatever.
this for a second, Wally, because I played all the games because of the VR one. Gore, I should have taken a blowtorch to my eyes.
See, but this is my thing though, right? And this is why I laugh, cause like, okay, you make Gungrave, aka just Gungrave, and then you make Gungrave Overdose, then you make Gungrave VR, which no one
I
knows
didn't
what
know
the
they
fuck
made a
about.
VR. To be honest with
And
you,
then you make,
I didn't know they made a
huh?
VR game. To be honest with you,
No one don't give a fuck. No one cares. I mean, yeah, you can play like, oh, you can go and play like Gungrave, boom, 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 and have the fuck. No,
here, let me help you out. You're welcome.
Thank you. And then you get the whole Gungrave gore. The way I look at this, I say this to myself, and I say, see, this is what you call Gungrave 1, Gungrave 2, Gungrave 3. You have 3 series. You could have just
here's
had
my
that.
issue with one part of the game. So the levels change. It's like they just put new skin on it and different mazes and all that stuff, right? But nothing really changed. The enemies wasn't hard. The freaking killing. You hit. Okay, you're dying. Okay, hit overdose. Okay, I'm winning. I'm like, okay, come on, give me a little bit of a challenge here. Like Devil May Cry, great example. One of my favorite games that had a challenge, had a great fucking story. Devil May Cry 5 was one of the best in the series to this day. The last one, last one. But my point is trying to get to if it's a bad. First one was bad, second one was bad, and the third one was bad. Why make another one? Anyway. Okay, you know what, Wally? I'll give you permission to go go your Wally craziness right now.
I just want to keep going because
Annoying the shit out of you. Like,
the sad thing is, as much as I'm able to point out a lot of the failures points of this whole thing, but it's like I can't even be mad because, again, for what I've watched and what I've seen, it's pretty decent.
Oh, the anime's great. You're gonna love it.
And that's the sad part about it. Because you got fucking morons that just said, oh, yeah, we want to play another game. And fuck your video game. I snap it, break it, and motherfucking snap it in multiple pieces. And
usually the game is really good and the anime is really bad. Like the first round of Devil May Cry, if you remember the anime was pretty bad. Now they're doing a reboot with Netflix. I'm having.
No, it wasn't bad, but it needed a little more
I didn't
help.
like
But
it.
it got
I
a good
personally didn't like
storyline.
it.
But of course, it needed a little bit of help. But that's the point. Like but this is the problem, though, right? We always see this whole significant. Because, like, okay, if you told me today, Gungrave the game, like Gungrave the anime was built off of Gungrave the game, meaning the storytelling was built off the game. But I'm having one person tell me the game sucked ass. So what are we talking about here? It couldn't be. No way. Not a chance. How the fuck?
Thank you.
So
I'll give you another example.
Then,
I know this is going way before you were even born, probably, Wally. Is they made a game, Zelda. You know the Zelda, right? You heard of it. They made an anime off it.
of course.
I don't know if it was an anime or cartoon. Was horrible. Nobody even remembers it. That's how bad it was.
Oh, the Zelda cartoon was horrible.
Thank you.
The Zelda game was
Every
good.
Zelda game has been awesome to this point. I haven't seen a bad Zelda game. And Ocarina of Time is the best one.
No, there was some Zelda games. I think we had a conversation about this before. There was some Zelda games that were bad, but they were like more of the throwback.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about that 3D
like
versions of stuff. It was like, all right, finish your statement.
Yeah,
Wally. I mean, Wally, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. But to even add to this, right? Because for more notes, right? Development challenges. The development of Gungrave Gore faced delays, which can impact the franchise ability to stay relevant in a fast-paced entertainment market. Development issues can also lead to a final product. All that basic shit. But my thing is this. This is the thing that really just bothered crap on me, because I may as well just keep going, because I think I'm just morally repeating the same troubles of this sad motherfucking anime that actually was pretty good. And that is this. How do I want to say this? How do I want to
spit it out?
Particularly say it? True, I would have wanted to spit it out, but no.
You get my permission.
I just find it to be very, very disappointing when you have something like this and it's like, we don't think nowhere past the video game idea. We just think, we just want this to be a game. But if your main idea was to be a game, how are you going to sell this to where the game becomes popular and you're riding on the coattails of that game? Because think about it. I even go further, right? Okay, you want to make it a game? Fine. What about Batman? Remember the Batman game where you can actually have a choice where you can decide how the future of the game progresses? I forgot which game it was that let you do that. But it lets you be able to sort of have your own experience of how you control the gaming scene from that point. I forgot which Batman it was, but you was able to control the destiny of it all, right? So, sort of in the same sense of Gungrave.
If I'm not mistaken,
I would say.
I think it was one of the Arkham series ones.
Probably was. But my whole point to it, a little bit what I'm trying to connect the dots to that is, if you're able to create your own thing, then again, how do you make the game more fun? Focusing on a one-person thing, well, in this case, like what, a third-person shooter. I mean, most shooting games are first-person shooters. So, and literally, I look at this only as a first-person shooter. I don't know how this is 3 people, but whatever. But this is just something like you just got to be, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but there just had to be way more to it. Like just shooting, like there's no acrobatics here. There's no style and play. Because trust me, I think there was one anime Jade showed me. Honestly, this probably will mop the floor with Gungrave just because of how good the combat of just shooting bullets at each other was.
What anime was it? You remember?
I don't remember. All I know is it was just, I think it was female shooters that were shooting guns at each other, and it was pretty good because the way how they had the gunshots just flowing off of each other, it was so good that you literally you seen just a perfect work of art and scenery of how they were just shooting off each other, the lighting and the scaling of it all. It was a work of art with gunplay combat. But this is just like, okay, you can somewhat do the same, but just in a more brutal, dark, visual way. I just think that they just, I don't know, man. All I know is you allowed a game to ruin greatness, potential greatness.
Pretty much.
That's the simple part of this whole story. Mike, David, Mike.
Sorry, I want to go in and close out the game, but I couldn't because the level of visceral fuck up that I see how they're going about it. It was like, I'm going to see a lot more anime we go start discussing about, and we start to point out the similar bullshit. Like you epically dropped the ball. You literally fucked up. You created an anime that not only caught our attention, we were like, this is genuine.
This was excellent, in my opinion.
And we waited for how long? Since 2003? We in 2025. How many years is that right now?
Too long.
22 freaking years. Really. You know, you can come back with 2 floppy ass fucked up game? You serious? If you're watching this episode, yes, we're talking about you. You fucked up real bad. Instead of trying to produce another game, bring the Gungrave in a redemption type of series whereby you did it just, if you have to reboot it, then reboot it. But do it justice to have at least 3 or 4 seasons.
There's nothing more but to reboot it. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you told me today, oh, we're finally gonna bring an extension, an extension? Kiss my ass. No, you're bringing a reboot. You bring me a reboot.
You might have to reboot the whole thing with better graphic, with multiple
Yeah,
depth storyline.
especially this time, you have no choice. You have no choice.
We had to get a
You're
better
not bringing me
in-depth
back that damn
storyline,
2003
better
style.
cap depth, better character depth, and make sure that you do it justice. You don't fuck it up. Because they're doing
But
the game alone. I'm questioning like, do you ever done fucked up leadership in your team?
no, but that's the thing though. I think honestly, someone just sits there. They were making this dumbass game, and they thought to themselves, "Oh, we don't need to go into books. We don't need to be a part of the manga trend. You don't. You don't. You don't. You lying. You're lying. Because honestly, I truly believe if games like Pokemon never went to the anime side, even the manga side, I don't think so. It would be as big as it was. In my
It
personal
wouldn't.
opinion, I don't think so. It'd be that big
It
because the
wouldn't.
reality is, you wouldn't. You would look at it and say to yourself, "This." You play Pokemon, you get this character, you'd be like, "Who is this character? Why am I only facing these two? And why these two people are important? Why do I gotta pick these two characters? Why can't I just be my own niche person?" But when you realize it, you see these characters, they're tied to the freaking anime.
To be honest with you, I was the other way around. I got into the anime first. I got into it late. It was already ending of season 1 when I got into it, and then when I got into the cards, and then I got into the game. So I did a little back.
Oh yeah, but I know, but I'm saying, but see, thank you. You proved my point. But that's what I'm saying. You would have had to be invested to actually watch, read about it, or something else for you to actually say, "I'm gonna get inside the game." Because guess what? If you just play the game, you'd be like, "Well, why would I get in the game for it? And why? What's the person this? Why am I always gotta have this potential Pokemon called Pikachu every which way, rocking behind me like it's trying to sniff my butt?" Yeah, I went there. I went there. I fucking went there. I fucking went there.
You've
I know.
reached your limit
Why
on
was
talking. Shut the
I
fuck
went there.
up.
Hey, we may as well throw some type of juggler because personally, we're just gonna just
Well,
mud stump this thing anyways.
why it was sniffing your butt? It would say Pika Pika.
You're an asshole.
So I mean, personally, yes, you would have to bring some type of attention to your original creation, and how you do that, you make a manga, you make anime, and voila, you constantly keep getting more. You get more. Because let's be honest here, I cannot see Pokemon surviving without the anime, let alone the manga. I just don't. I just can't.
Then
No.
doing Gundam
Sorry, I
with
can't.
the mobile with gunplay. Hang on, David. Let me finish.
Let's
Let me finish. Without the gunplay in the manga, they go hand to hand. And like one hand jerks off, the other jerk off. So yeah, I went there. Yes, I went there. It goes hand to hand. You know more than anybody, David.
yeah. I'm just saying, hey, I didn't go to prison.
I didn't either. That's right.
You you
Yeah, I
worked
worked
there.
at Hood Story. I didn't mean I went there. So fuck off. Anyway, so my point.
I know you.
Hang on.
I know you
Because
helped somebody out
my
with it.
point I was trying to get to was it's a rotating circle or rotating door or whatever we call it, one versus the other. I have never seen maybe a few Gungrave toys, but not a lot of them. But I don't see. Actually, hang on. Let me look at it right now. I'm on Amazon.
Notice, I just told you 5 products earlier. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
That's true. When you mentioned Gundam, I'm like shit.
And Gundam is a great
Gundam
example
have been
because they
here
have the
for,
biggest margin. I think it's
and they've
next
been
to
here,
Pokemon.
and they've been here for ages. They've been here since the '70s, mind you.
So I just looked on Amazon,
When you
and
watch
usually
the
on Amazon you can find anything. I don't find anything besides video games, few mangas like you said, Wally, and the anime series, DVDs, and stuff like that. I don't see any action figures, collectibles, nothing.
There's a reason why. Because the dude was a complete utter dumbass. You did not think past this. You just thought video games and that's it. Doofus. How far you think that's gonna
Not
go?
far.
I'm
Buy
sure.
one time.
I'm,
I only have to buy it one
I'm
time.
sure he. I'm sure he borrowed some money from the mafia in Japan, and he epically fucked up. And it's like, see, since you fucked up, we gotta fuck you up. Now we gotta make you disappear. It could be that. I
All
don't
I
know.
know is one thing, ladies and gentlemen. If we ever, ever one day say to ourselves, hey, you know what? We should consider investing in buying an anime. I would love to pick this up and just say, hey, yo, Dark Horse, will you be willing to sell this? Just hand it over. Just hand it over. Y'all ain't doing nothing with it. Just hand it over. Hand over the property. Just hand it over. Sign me the
But they're not.
rights.
But they're not the only one. Do you know how many other companies out there have some iconic anime? They ain't doing nothing with it, and they hold on to it for what purpose? Like, nigga, what point you
Again,
holding on to it
buy the
for?
rights. That's what I'll say. Buy the guy forsaken rights.
I would
I
have
think
bought
honestly,
the.
that's what some people be
I would
doing.
have bought the right and get to that brother in Japan. He have his own anime to that thing. Reboot this thing and do it justice. Knock it out of the ballpark. If you have to change the ethnic group, okay, you don't want to be a white, but you be a black dude. Do what you got to do.
I ain't gonna go that far. You
I'm
keep it the
just
same. You
saying.
keep it the same way it is. Goddamn, you keep it the same way it is.
I'm just saying
Alright.
because it's kind of like I'm telling you, we gonna have someone who will work with us on this channel, and every anime we are criticized, we put them in. We anime to put in the black book, or we anime to put it in the toilet. We need to have like a chart of all the anime that did well, that we have respect for, and other anime that not did too well, they fucked up. They belong in the toilet. They be flushed because this right here, I'm pissed off. Wally pissed off. Ghost of Sparta's like this is unanimous decision. They epically fucked up. It's like you gaslighted us. Like you made us. Oh wait, dude, 14 years and you came out with another bullshit ass game. No, seriously. You came back with a bullshit ass game in 2018 and came again on 2022 thinking it will work?
And those are the problems. Like, there, when this came out, this is when the anime was really picking up in the United States. It started with Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and so on. But during the early 2000s, that's where I call the anime boom started. And as the boom, and it came out at a great time. I'm not denying that. The other one,
Yeah, but they're
Trigun.
trying to say,
Hang on. Trigun,
but
Outlaw Star, Gundam. Where else can I go? I can go on and on for hours. But that's
but they're saying it because of the dark story. That's the bullshit. How many other anime that had dark story? You go Hakusho. Was it not dark either?
was extremely dark.
No. Hold on. Really?
I mean, there's a lot of dark ones.
Come on.
I mean, come on. How much animes deal with demons and
You go
like
Hakusho. Inuyasha.
um
Um.
Berserker? Like that Berserker alone was just
Whoa. Berserker was way dark.
exactly.
Berserker was way dark.
And trust me,
No,
there's a big
I'm
fan base
sorry.
behind Berserker.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're judging this bullshit. They complain about Gungrave darkness. Berserker was beyond dark.
And if
The
you understand Berserk as
movie.
a character, you also know he was damn literally like effed up out of his mind.
You telling me?
There were a lot of dark
And
anime.
Berserker
Let's
had
be
a
straight up
bigger.
here.
No, hold on. Hold on. Was so dark. It had a bigger fan base than Gungrave. You want to tell me that bullshit?
Salute to all the lunatics out there.
No. No. Let's stop. Let's not fighting late in the ball. We speaking fact here. But the anime genre had a huge library and catalog in it. But when people do that little criticism because of their dark storyline, you complain that Gungrave storyline was dark, but yet Berserker were way darker than Gungrave. The movie, no. If you watch the movie, look for the Berserker movies. Make sure you watch it past midnight when it's dark, your kid out of sleep, no one's bothering you. You don't put on no lights on and put on all dark and trying to watch it. Some of the scenery will epically fuck you up. Literally. The shit you see, you be like,
Berserker was just crazy.
you like, oh, Terraformer. Another one, which is humanoid cockroach. That's another thing. Tokyo Ghoul, another one. Parasite, another one.
Yep.
Shit. Ghost, every Wednesday, any anime that we talk about, better be careful. We're not buying this bullshit. How in the world do we, man, come on. Be real here. There's a lot more anime we can list right now that had a very dark storyline, but it got a massive fan base. Like, you serious? Our very first episode, we talk about how many genre of anime that are out there. Go ahead.
Another one. Death Note was another one, and Death Note got a big fan base.
That is beyond.
You can't say that. Attack on Titans is another one.
And I don't know how that's so popular. I personally didn't like it.
Yeah, but you know you gotta think about it because it's like seeing giants is like it's literally out of pocket. I mean, I know some people say Chainsaw Man was a little bit up there.
Dark.
Shoot me. Even
Demon Slayer is pretty dark too.
Neon Genesis.
Neon Genesis classic anime was dark and screw up in the head, but it have an iconic fan base. Come on, let's stop the bullshit.
And then here's another one. They said Devilman's Crybaby.
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I'm pretty new to that one. I don't know.
I watched it. It was on Netflix. I watched it. It was on Netflix. That was like, it was dark though, but it had the point I'm trying to prove out here. That bullshit criticism all because of the dark storyline, but you have many much darker storyline than that one.
Oh wow!
What happened?
Okay, I'm seeing the images. This is sick. Oh wow!
Which anime?
The Devilman's Crybaby. This is actually pretty sick for the graphics.
It was graphic, but it had a fan base.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I like what I'm seeing
right now.
I'm trying
to talk about. If you want to explode on the US store with all the genre of anime that is out there, I was saying it for the longest. Netflix, I'm sure you may see this. You might well create another section on your Netflix only for anime alone, just like you have on Hulu. Hulu may have that section, but it's not as heavy that it need to be. You should have like a whole complete section just for anime alone. And in anime, you have the different genre anime. I promise you, the library is extensive. If you want me to hire me, I will drag me and Waller. We will start showing out a list of names that you should look for the owner of the internet. Yo, we're doing something bigger than this. Because this bullshit they talk about, it didn't do too much well because of the dark. Dude, you got way worse anime that's darker than this. They got a massive fan base.
Yeah, I would call this on the level of dark. I would call this dark with a little bit of sorrow, even though I don't know the whole story, because it doesn't give you that real heavy, dark, like depressing, or like you literally have to be ready to motherfucking jump or just be like, like you ain't looking at it like this. This is like okay, it's hard in a
the iconic anime called Ninja. I forgot if it is Ninja or what would they call it. This guy was dealing with zombie like ninja from the underworld, and he had this one. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there was the old iconic anime where the one particular person who's undercover was screwing a woman in the anime. Yeah, it was a
All I
ninja
know
anime.
is
It's I forgot what it was Return on the Ninja. No, Ninja. I forgot what it is. It's an old iconic anime. Fifth of the North Star was dark. Let's stop it. Hold on.
look, I'll
Let's
say it
go
like
back.
this.
Oh, let's go back. Hold
In
on.
fair,
Now, this anime came out in 2003, right? Fifth of the
something
North
around there.
Star came before this anime. It was dark. Akira came out before this anime. It was dark. So what about this bullshit? Fifth of the North Star. If you get the seventh, if the guy touches your hair blew up and you see all the gut and they flying out.
Here's another
Like,
anime
like,
that was a video game in transformed into an anime. The Zone Ender Zoner or something like that. It was about a mobile suit. It was two games.
hmm I record the game, but I never seen the
Yeah,
anime yet.
it was two animes. A movie anime and a series anime. The movie anime was really fucking good. The series sucked ass. I'm gonna look up what the name was because I can't remember.
Well, look, I'll say this because I'm already done with this. The only thing I can say about this anime is this. You know what's so horrible is when you know you can't even find the decency of how much this show even made in money because they tanked it behind private information. That tells you a whole lot. Like that tells you a whole lot. You can't find how much this thing worth. It tells you everything. So
They
just
fucked
know
up.
that for sure.
They fucked up.
And two, look,
The
I'll
anime
say
I was talking
this.
about. I'm sorry, why?
Once again, I say this.
They fucked
The
up.
Go ahead, go ahead.
anime, the game I was talking about, Zone of the Enders. It was called. It was two games.
Okay.
Was both on PS2, I believe. Was it? Yes, both are on PS2. They made a movie, anime movie. Anime movie was really good, actually. Really fair, created good storyline. But when they came down to the what's it called, the series version of it, oh my god, that's how bad it was.
And that tells you why movies and series can never be consistent. Because once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I sit here and say when we had this conversation about the anime versus cartoons with the slight middle in the road comics, I said this before. Don't think anime's that perfect. Here's another one. Here's another one for the
And I'll give
books.
Wally that one. But I say that the huge margin of anime that did not fuck
And
up.
again, that's not because the anime wasn't good. That was just because just how it all
I
ended.
get it. Vampire Hunter D, another dark anime that's older than that of.
Oh hell.
You want to tell me that's
Like I
not
said,
dark either?
Demon Slayer has a good following. That's pretty dark, believe it or not.
But yet, it got a bigger following than Gung. Like this is the
Gungrave
bullshit.
does not have a big following. I'll give you that.
Because and that's the problem. It's not as dark as they say it is.
Oh, I
This
never
is what
said
I'm
it
talking
was.
about. Like, what dark are we getting? What dark am I getting out of this? Am I getting darkness with some sorrow, or I'm just getting dark as the fact that you're just reborn a body and then letting him go out there and murk people? Like, I'm not getting enough of that. Where's the blood? Where's the true? Okay, I was just about to do something.
Oh,
Like you
so
guys,
we
like again, I haven't watched it, but from the small
that to show
intentions of
you,
what I'm
ladies and
listening,
gentlemen,
it's not enough, bro. It's
when
just
you
not
see
enough. And granted, yes, they did. We just literally read all of it and said, hey, it's emotional, it's this and that. I hope so because I trust and believe me. If I watch all of this and I come back and I feel that I don't get all that, I'll be pissed the fuck
ladies and
off.
gentlemen, this is a
Literally.
public announcement. When you see me, Wally, and Ghost of Spada really pissed off with a particular anime, that lets you know how extremely the director or the owner of the franchise epically fucked up. This is not no regular visual. This is like how you drop the freaking ball. And Wally read the criticism saying that this.
I mean, you got to think
Wally
about it.
said they
Like, it
criticized
makes
this
no
anime
sense.
because it was dark. and we listed many other anime that was even darker than this, and was highly like you serious? Like you really gonna go there? You gonna say, oh, it was dark?
But think, but
Uh,
I want I want you to think about this. But this is where it comes really twisted, right? You're gonna tell me, well, Gungrave got its notoriety because of its storytelling and its emotional appeal. Really? But then you got fans out here saying, well, there's a lot of mixed feelings, the story, this and that, and then everything else. Look here. Anybody knows if you really are a decent, down to earth person and you see a lot of anime that got a lot of emotional feels to it, and you like this anime, you're trying to fucking tell me that this, again, let me find out, watch this whole thing, and I look at this and I shrug my fucking shoulders. I'll come back. I will fucking come back. Just like I have to come back for the fucking same anime we talked about last week. Because Lord have mercy. Again, that was still funny to me. I ain't gonna lie.
Don't worry, Wally. Your turn is coming eventually. When you're gonna be talking about your favorite anime, I'm gonna fucking roast the shit out of you.
Dude, you can't even talk about Dragon Ball Z and just said that GT sucks without actually having a point.
I don't
and,
even have a point
then
with these
no,
sucks.
I know. No, yeah, GTD sucks, but recently
Thank you.
Akira Toriyama, before he passed away, did something very, very unique on Dragon Ball Daima. I think we might have to go back and revisit this Dragon Ball.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. No, I don't want to hear that shit. Fuck no. Fuck no. No. Hell no.
And
I'll
You've
not take
reached your
that.
limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Shove it.
already,
Again,
he did.
no, I will
Already he
not
did
take
two things
that.
that was epically fucked up.
I don't give a fuck.
One,
I don't get to
the
fly. Fuck. I will
transformation
not take
was
that.
made different,
I will not take that.
and what
Nope.
he did to
Nope. I will
Vegeta.
not take that.
Oh God, think we call him King Pokemon.
The Vegeta part, I will be
No,
okay with.
okay,
The transformation part, fuck no.
okay. One day I will call him King Pookie, but what they did to Vegeta in this Dragon Ball Daima is epic. Even with your actor that's saying, "Oh shit," they sh-
You
they
know what? Look, I've seen some
they
good
they,
shit.
they
No
should have been.
spoilers.
Trust and
No
believe
fucking
me.
spoilers.
That one moment, I swear, that's some bullshit.
Yo, no spoilers.
That's some
Let's go.
bullshit. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When Boma said what she said, I was like, you can't make this shit up.
No, Wally, I will mute you. Don't spoil it.
You cannot make this shit up. I was pissed. I was like, ain't this better?
All right, guys, let's get your final thoughts. We actually
I'm
wrap it up.
sorry. No, if you watch that scene, you'll be laughing the same way while you be like, "Oh the fuck."
All right, go for
You're
your
like,
final
what
thoughts,
the
David.
fuck? Whew, ladies and gentlemen, public service announcement. Gungrave epically fucked up in the most highest way possible. You grab our attention, gave us a storyline we were looking forward to see more of it. But instead of completing the mission, not only you dropped the ball, you ain't have any balls. You had the diddler came behind you and do take that, and force you to do the video game. So not only you fucked up on it, it took you 14 years to come back and you did a diddler part two, fucked on it twice. It's safe to say that I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you disappoint me, but it was epically pissing me off. And the fact that they could have side that because the genre was dark, bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Y'all capping on a whole new level. So going forward, any anime, you know what? I had to give Wale credit. Anime is not perfect. I give it that. But y'all who are coming into the anime genre, producing anime, and you're dropping the ball, we gotta keep our eye on you. We gotta criticize your ass like we did with this one. Other than that, Dark Horse, sell the franchise to somebody else who could do it justice, so it can redeem itself. Because otherwise, it will be in the toilet, in the anime toilet, getting flush. That is my final thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, uh, I like to sit here and say this. I like to throw a little bit more, just some small points. Just small points. One, if an anime cannot tell you how much money they made within their anime series, like all others, that tell you something. Because neither A, it was successful because it was actually good, and you know how much more they could have fucked up. Because personally, it lets you know, one, they chose to hustle backwards. They chose to hustle backwards. They truly hustle backwards. Because again, you could have started with the game. The game could have sucked. The first game could have sucked. It is what it is. But you did the anime. The anime was good. Now, go make the manga. The manga's even better. And then just slide on in everything else. And then you come back to the game. Make it better. Now you actually have a story to build off of and expand. But no, what you do, you went back to the game thinking, oh, we're good now. We're all ready to go. No. Like I said, I promise you, let there be a day where I come back and I look at this anime and I sit here and say, I shrug my shoulders. How I'm going to start this, how I'll start that video is like this. I came back to give you a review on Gungrave. This is my feelings. Let me shrug my shoulders on that shit. I promise you, I'll rip it even more downer than it already is. Because I'm not going to lie to you. It sucks very bad when you know you got a good thing and a good product and it's supposed to sell you what it's supposed to sell you. And then guess what? They chose to tank it all because of what? Because of stupidity? Because they didn't see more in this, more than what they can do? Or maybe, just maybe, they know they could not make it more dark than all the other competitors. Because notice one thing this said. It couldn't compete in the market. Guess what? Last time I checked, my partner and even I and even Sparta mentioned some few dark animes. Last time I checked, that is not comparing to those. It doesn't even have its own lane. It's not even dark enough to make you cry. And I guarantee you, if this says it's dark and it's emotional, I better expect to at least have a tear watching this bitch. Because if I don't, promise you, I'm coming back to rip this shit to pieces. I promise you. Get me off the screen.
Whew. And the mute monster got to go to Sparta.
Yeah, Sparta.
Now the mute of Sparta. Mute.
All right, shut up. I still go with the original statement I made from the beginning is anime is good. I think is good. I won't say it was one of the best, but it's up there from my opinion, personal opinion. But I think the game sucks. Simple. Let's do a quick schedule and let's get the heck out of here. So tomorrow we're talking about sex is not love and love is not sex. This should be an interesting conversation. That's all I have to say. Shut the fuck up, David. On Saturday, Jedi Escape survived the Force. That should be an interesting one. I'm not sure what we're doing in the gray area yet because I have talked to my my partner Paul. And next Wednesday, I have a doozy for you guys. And Bennett might want to join this one. We're talking about Battle of the Planets. No, you guys are talking about Battle of the Planets. Yeah.
This man said Battle of the Planets.
It's a classic. It's a classic anime.
Except
one of
that,
the very
guys,
few. It's one of the few anime that broke into the U.S. small market in the early days.
yes, that's before the anime boom. David, anything else on your side?
Besides, I need to choke this main PC to do some PC replacement.
We're going to talk about that after the show. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Wally?
Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is for everybody out there that's a fan of Gungrave, truly, I am in debt to you to know that you can't watch this again. Other than keep watching it over and over and over, to know that you will never get to see this great thing happen because people want to be stupid.
Guys, as always, this was the Sparta HQ Network. This was Anime Unlock. I am Ghost of Sparta. He is Black David. He is Wally. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. There's my button.